wanted to pick up a little bit from last week's Sunday meditation. So we had talked a little bit about the 4 things that fill up the pie of weight loss or muscle gain, right? We talked about exercise, activity, non-exercise activity, the thermo effect of your food, and then your metabolism or your basal metabolic rate or resting metabolic rate. Today we're going to talk a little bit about stress, because that was one of the big things that was taking up a huge part of the pie, which was that resting metabolic rate. So I wanted to give my top 5 stress management tips, all right? And I didn't come up with all these myself. Some of them have been from my own experience. Some have been from things I've read. And so I just want to share them. There's not a one-size-fits-all for this. Take them and use them and experiment with what works for you. So let's start with number 1, daily movement. So one of the best ways to unplug is to go outside into nature. Go for a walk, go for a hike. Maybe it's a Saturday or Sunday weekend thing for you. Go by yourself or go with a friend, but make sure that you're unplugged, that there's no electronics involved, you're not listening to a podcast, you're letting your brain really slow down and relax. So that's key to the movement part. And then getting sunshine and being outside is a huge win. Number 2 would be daily rhythms. So when you're going through a high stress period, the strictness is actually the thing that's going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. So getting a little bit more tight and having a bedtime routine, having a wake up time, having a routine before bed, having routines of eating will really allow your body to relax because it anticipates what's coming. So the more rhythmic you can be with your body, and the more you get a circadian rhythm of you wake up and you go to bed within 30 minutes at the same time every night, will really help your stress come down and allow your body to digest at the same time, operate at the same time, and not think of any surprises coming along. This really takes a lot of stress off the body, which then lowers your stress in a stressful season. Number 3, morning sync or morning meditations. So before you get started in your crazy day and you just roll out of bed and have to get going, try to wake up a little bit earlier and take your time just getting ready to prep yourself for the day. So that can look a lot of different ways. It can look like you're sipping on your coffee and you're not listening to anything. You're just kind of allowing your brain to wake up and you're thinking about your day and you're thinking about the things you need to do. Or it could be you go through a gratitude list, or you start thinking about things, positive things, so a little bit more on the meditation side. For some people that are more religious, it could be reading a particular book or praying or journaling, okay? But either way, there's a lot of science and proof that this is really good for our brains. It's a great way to start the day, not in a panic, not upping our cortisol levels in the morning, but allowing us to kind of regulate ourselves before the day gets kick-started. Number 4 is bedtime routine. All right, so in a state of really high stress, it's really helpful to make sure that you have some sort of routine. So really the big ones that have been well researched are 30 to 60 minutes prior to bed, no electronics. One of the things me and my wife have invested in was we got blue light glasses. They're actually fairly cheap, so you can get them off Amazon. They block out a lot of the blue light. So if we watch a show later in the evening, we'll wear them. Or if we want to be really strict and we're walking around with the light still on, we'll wear them around the house. So those are ways to kind of block out some of the light, allows us to get ready for bed. And then things like taking a hot shower before bed or stretching before bed, creating your own routine that works for you, but try to think of something that you can manage within less than 30 minutes and something that kind of is the analogy landing the plane and not restarting it back up, right? In a different career prior to what I'm doing now, public speaking was a really big thing. Oftentimes we use the airplane analogy of someone who lands the plane and it's almost like the speech is over and then they pick back up and then they land the plane again. That really makes the crowd or the audience, right, not know where your final kind of point is going. Same thing can be applied to your body. You want your body to feel like that plane is getting ready to land, and then when that lands, it's time for bed, and then you will sleep and go to sleep deeply and early and quickly, okay? So create a bedtime routine. And then last one, but maybe most important, is breathing. Oftentimes when we're high stressed, we forget to breathe. Funny enough, we hold our breath. We find ourselves tense. Think of yourself in a tense movie, and you realize as you're going through this tense scene that you almost realize that you're not breathing as much as you normally would because you're so involved into the story. That can happen too when you're in a high stress situation or high stress season. So make sure that you're breathing. Take some deep breaths. Really allow the breath to move out. It really does allow the body to calm down and get to a parasympathetic state. So I'm going to put all 5 of these on our meditation this week. I want you to try a couple different things, and your job is going to be to respond to me on what you tried this week or what you're planning on trying this week, and ones that maybe you've tried in the past that have worked or have not